It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back as we continue with our health discussion this morning. Clinical psychologist Amy Glover is still with us. Amy will be sharing some ways that we can beat the year-end slump and avoid heading into 2021 with the same feelings of exhaustion. It's been a tough year, but we can do it. I know we can. Adjust our mindset, and hopefully there are practical measures that we can put into place. Maybe let's talk about this kind of process of moving from being tired into burnout, because that's ultimately what we don't want to happen, is for it to reach that degree. What are some of the signs that we're moving from just being fatigued to possible burnout, where the repercussions can be quite serious?
So like I was saying before the break, is that fatigue is a main feature in burnout. So that would be one of the main signs initially. But burnout really, it's a coupling of different symptoms. So it's a bit of an overlap between some adjustment type symptoms, anxiety related and depression related symptoms. So those are some of, there would be an overlap of that. So again, it's the basic things with our body in terms of like sleep, our energy levels. Those are the things you always want to be monitoring. And generally like our irritability. So that can speak to some depression perhaps, or burnout, but it's something again that must be teased out.
You've touched on the word there, depression. Can chronic fatigue lead to mental illness?
Good question. It's a tricky one to say that it's, a direct line. But I think, when we're fatigued and when we're tired, no one's functioning at their best, So I think the main way we can maybe draw that line is that if we are really tired, it starts to affect our other levels of functioning. Like it can affect our work performance, or it can affect, our relationship or things at home. So it starts to affect the rest of our context more than anything. And maybe that context then, contributes to us developing symptoms of a mental illness.
It's quite complex, but it's
can
have a very simple root.
Exactly.
So what do we need to do to boost our energy and beat the slump so that we can enjoy the new year and enter 2021 inspired and energized? What do you recommend?
Rest, and more rest is where I always start. And not only rest in terms of sleep, but, what sort of fills up your cup. So maybe if that's in terms of self-care, maybe that's in terms of just spending time with loved ones where you can. Those are some of the main ones. And then also, I think taking good breaks from social media, or taking breaks from work where we maybe work more than we should outside of work hours, So trying to take a break maybe from emails on a weekend, or really taking leave when we're taking leave. So I think those are some of the practical things we need to try
not to work from home, just set those boundaries. I think it's, even as I hear you saying these things, I'm like, well, that's all good and well, but I need to work my 12-hour days to be able to get the job done. But at some point, you've got to be able to draw a line and set those boundaries, because it's your own health and then it's your family's health and well-being that will be impacted as a knock-on effect. I said I'd touch on some of your comments, and people have weighed in with some brilliant comments this morning. Haley Shara saying, good morning. Know that you are blessed to have made it this far, and break up the day is just around the corner. Breakup day is just around the corner. That should motivate you to keep pushing through. Maybe that's the light at the end of the tunnel is something that we can focus on. Kingsley saying, we must make time to jump off the hamster wheel, take stock of what we have been through, where we're at, and how best to move forward, especially those of us who live in the concrete jungle. Importantly, or equally important, it's to cultivate a life of gratitude. That's I'll be spending 10 days or so doing that over the festive season. And then Charlene saying, definitely get a hobby, exercise, read, laugh, play, especially with your kids, family, siblings, but most importantly, pray and never forget yourself. If you're feeling like resting, sitting by yourself, or pampering yourself, do it, because no one can be there for you like yourself. Oh, and spend wisely, take care, and be safe. Managing the finances does help the situation. Amy, some very wise words from you and from our viewers, so thank you so much. I think most importantly, we've just got to take a moment to take stock and know that it's okay not to be completely okay this year, or any year at this time of the year. There is so much weighing on us, but the most important thing is to just take cognizance of that, take a moment to take a breath and really consider where you are and what you need to do to take care of yourself, because you have to. If you're going to be an effective parent, an effective family member, an effective worker, colleague, you've got to take care of yourself. So thank you so much for energizing me just a little bit this morning. Hopefully we've done the same for you.